I said, DJ, you're 22. You buy
just turned 23. Happy birthday, DJ.
Yeah, happy birthday to DJ, by the way. Happy birthday, brother. He's 23. He's in Miami living it up right now.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Woo,
having
buddy.
a good time.
Yeah, good time.
Nice town.
Yeah. Scenery's great.
They got a lot of nice girls down there.
Yeah, they got a lot of nice girls down there.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, Steak and Sauce family. This is episode 17. I am Antonio Claiborne, one half of the dynamic duo. You already know who the other man is.
You already know what time it is. The baddest podcast in the land, Steak and Sauce Podcast. If you don't know, you should, because your baby mama does. We are glad to be back here for another great episode, and we got some great people here today. To my right, we have, you've seen him on here before, the most interesting man in the world, Mr. Boss Doss.
Yes, sir.
And across the table from me, we have the outstanding, the dopest agent in the area for real estate. You already know. We got Mr. Scott Bunn. Let's give a hand for both of these guys.
Appreciate you having me on, brother.
Yeah. How y'all doing?
Really good.
Really good. Gary?
So, I'm fine, son.
Dad? We had to have you back because today we are not only bringing awareness, but we are celebrating a big milestone in Scott's life, a decision that he just made, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into it for a second, but first off, we wanted to continue to support Weston at carmack.media on Instagram. Please reach out to him. He's got some great work, and he can definitely answer questions. We get a lot of questions about this show, about our platform, how we're doing certain things, and he can definitely answer those. Continue to support Scott Bunn, and we have some different things coming up as far as your show, and we'll get into that in a minute, and we want to continue to support that. Also, put that burger down. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, subscribe to Steak and Sauce Podcast if you haven't already. I don't know why you haven't. That should have been the first thing you did this morning if you haven't. We've had a great week. How's everybody doing?
Oh, dandy.
Recharged, motivated. It's, it's a new world out here for me. Back to zero.
Back to zero. So kind of like back to the basics. Back to square one.
Back to brand new. You see all them trophies on the thing?
Yeah.
Means nothing now. Just box them up and put them in storage.
Put them in storage, right? We got to reset.
Start all over.
All over. Hey, and the thing about I like that, the reason I like that is because you always talk about digging deeper, finding a new avenue, going into something new, and not being afraid to do that. So I like that as well. Antonio, how's your week been?
It's been great, man.
Good. How's work going?
Always good. Always good.
Yeah.
Busy.
Right? Kids ready for Christmas?
I guess so. I'm not. But they are.
Well, I'm not either, because when we had Mackenzie, his daughter, on for the Halloween episode, she was talking about all the things she was going to circle for me to get for Christmas, and the way my checking and savings is looking, we might be able to get them something. But I'm glad they're doing good. How's Max doing?
He's doing good.
Good. Weston, how's school going? How's everything going? Okay, all right, I understand. Yeah, that's good. Dad.
All right, still working on this artificial knee I got put in.
Let's talk about that for 2 seconds, can we?
Yeah, it's fabulous.
So, recently, Dad had a knee replacement, and I will be honest, I'm not saying that just because he's here. I saw very minimal swelling, right, Dad, after it was in?
It was a little bit.
But not much.
Not much.
It seems like your body was accepting the new hardware, right? Because that's one of the things that people worry about when they have surgery, is if their body's going to accept the new hardware or reject it.
Yeah, but it's titanium, and it took it like a charm. And it's already better than I'd suffered with the original equipment for about 3 years, and it just kept getting to the point where just bone on bone.
Bone on bone.
This thing's great.
Yeah.
So.
I'm glad that you're recovering well, and you're doing physical therapy. All those things are going good.
Well, this thing's going good. Yeah, good. I've already cut back with physical therapy, so
good. You're a stud.
I gotta go to the doc and get my release.
Right. You'll be back here line dancing in no time.
Oh yeah. I'm still disco man.
Right.
Before your days.
Yeah, before my days. That's good. So, right quick, what we always do is I see some funny things throughout the week. Scott and Gary, we want to run some of those videos, and we got you guys with the headsets, and we want to get your guys' organic reaction to these, and then you tell me what you guys think, okay? Weston, can we run some of those?
You ever watch a stupid movie late at night, hoping you're going to get better, don't get better, but you keep watching it anyway? Because the other night
I knew what he was saying.
It's called Fright Night, Freak Night, or some type of night, but it's about vampires. I don't know if you know vampires.
He doesn't even know what he's saying.
I'll tell you something that I found out.
Telling you, he still thinks he's running touchdowns.
I never knew that, so I didn't want to be a vampire anymore. I wanted to be a werewolf.
Mr. Walker has been talking about issues that are of great importance to
you know it's bad if the former president is
like
getting on
whether
the
it's
case.
better to be a vampire or a werewolf.
So basically, Herschel Walker's getting up here and talking about he was watching a terrible movie one night. And he said he continued to watch it. And he said, did y'all know that, vampires, they cool people, aren't they? As if they cool people, they're real people. Everybody in the crowd's kind of like, oh, And then he said, did y'all know werewolves can be vampires? Now, I don't know what you're supposed to say on a podium like that, but I'm pretty sure that people did not want to hear about his opinion on werewolves versus vampires.
This is the United States Senate.
Yeah.
That he's running for.
He's running for a seat. That's the whole thing.
I'd rather put Scott in that seat than to put him in there. I don't think that his team, his PR, whoever it is, they need to sit down with him and say, listen, we had a script. We told you what to say. You need to stick to it, right? Yeah. No more of this late night talking about vampires.
They don't care what he says. They just have him up there for a face. That's all he is.
Clearly, Scott, please.
So number one, I'm going to look at your CNN tag over here and say CNN. You're getting a clip of something. You're getting a clip of something that's an hour long. You got a soundbite. You got a soundbite there. Right. I didn't even really get the whole soundbite. Right. But what's on the line here for me is control and policy of the United States Senate. Yeah. So Herschel Walker versus the competition with the policy that he's going to be plugged into. Yeah. I got to go his way, even if he does look like a moron. Unless CNN keeps making him looking like a moron, and people keep falling for it, knowing what policy he's bringing to the table, he could say some crazy stuff up there. As long as I know he's voting in a certain way that's going to make American lives better, I'm going to go that way.
I mean, I agree with you. What I think is. I know everybody here is familiar with the shows Big Brother, all these, the Truman Show. This is just another episode of that. I'm waiting for his head to open up and the alien be working 2 toggle sticks or something. That's all I'm waiting on, because this is ridiculous. They got him up there dancing for free food. He doesn't know where he's at. He's not on topic. Like, it's an embarrassment. I wouldn't do it. I say all the time, there are meetings that we will never be a part of where things are being decided.
Did he have to pull out that I watched Twilight story on the podium? He didn't have to pull out for a while. He didn't have to pull out I watched Twilight the other night story on the fucking podium. So come on now, like have a little bit better and more entertaining type story.
Right. When you're up there in
Twilight
Zone. Go back to some old Twilight Zone.
He could have watched our episode. Dad talked about space or something instead of getting up there.
Talk about what people care about, like your time playing football. Like related to something that people are interested in. Right. Instead of this crazy off the wall story that nobody cares about, that's just going to get you ridicule. I mean, try to avoid the embarrassment, and you're pretty much just going to walk in there if you can just not look like an idiot.
He has an endorsement with McDonald's, and the whole reason he gets up there is because he gets free chicken nuggets after he performs, and he gets up there like this. That's the whole reason.
I think it's an ad for how good the Alabama linebackers are.
Yeah. It definitely could be. There's deeper levels to this for sure.
True.
Let's get into the next one. This is me when I go pick up my daughter, You're supposed to be there like, come on now, get off the dance floor. And I know I'm going to start dancing because they're going to play something good, True. So I thought this was pretty funny. Like, this will be me in some form or fashion for sure. You come in, see your kids. Hey, let's go. It's time to go. And you know the kid, no, let's get 5 more minutes. No, let's go.
I'm going to start dancing.
Yep. I'm looking at the teachers for sure. That's just me though. Them teachers are different now.
Most likely.
Don't they, Tony? Just can't help itself.
I'm not letting my daughter dance in their damn songs like that.
You're not letting what?
No.
What are you gonna do? You gonna go in there and check the DJ?
I don't know what I'm gonna do, but she ain't gonna be in there.
Be the parental chaperone your daughter's whole life.
Yeah.
I
They're
will
like,
be.
is that your dad over there in all blue? Like, yeah, that's
you got
him.
to these days. Like
You do because
it's creepers everywhere.
It is creepers everywhere, and kids are consistently evolving, right?
Yeah.
The culture, things that they're exposed to. I just saw in the news that there were over 10 high school students. I'm sure you saw that too out in California, that all potential overdose. And, things like that happen in school.
Yeah.
So like it's different. Let's run the next one. Now, Gary, I saw this, right? I saw this and I said, you know what? If we can take a time capsule of a point in your life when I wasn't around, you at a resort.
He's drunk.
Clearly see this going down.
Jesus Christ.
Now, I want to get to this level in my life of no fucks given, right? And this is that ultimate level right here. I'm trying to tell you. What did he say? Rip it. What did he say? Ripping.
I can just goals of what to never look like.
Goals of what to never look like. This man is probably a billionaire, and he probably he lives there. Look at him.
I don't know how old this guy is.
Look, I hope his company gets a
I
hold
hope
of
he's
this.
at least 70.
Right.
Please at least let him be 70.
Right, he said, "Ain't that right?"
Let's don't talk about the
Let's run the next one.
That would be acceptable behavior for a 70-year-old.
I had always
Oh yeah, I did see this.
This is really interesting.
ever had a Mickey Mouse cup. You have a cup that has stuff written on the inside. A Mickey Mouse cup specifically has Mickey written on the inside. And
I never knew that
when you're drinking liquid,
Mickey spelled upside down.
Well, I knew a whole bunch of Disney stuff. I think it shows where he was like, he's about to hump cheese where he was making holes.
He was putting holes in that
Swiss cheese.
Walt named his infamous character Mickey.
I thought of you when he did.
No, I
don't think it's going to show it on this one, but yeah, it's one where he's.
You can actually.
Here it is.
Yeah, putting his wee wee in it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would never do something like this. This is a real cartoon that that they aired. Hey, he's putting the daggone holes in the cheese. Look.
Area
tearing that cheese up.
That's fucking crazy.
That's crazy. And they did this, and subliminally, these kids, I mean, they don't even know what they're looking at. But they run stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Look at the parrot in the background. What type of pay rate they gonna pay you to put holes in cheese?
I'm gonna be looking for that wicked.
I mean, that's something.
I'm gonna be looking for that.
Yeah.
If I don't drink any coffee, but next time I see a cup like that, I'm gonna be looking for that.
Look at the reflection. Tanya, how many blocks of cheese could you go through before you need a break? I don't know. What are you talking about? Let's keep it real.
No,
how many blocks of cheese do you think that you can go through before you need a break?
A while.
Oh, a while? I give you about 3 blocks.
Yeah.
You're going to be sweating. Yeah.
You already know.
He's talking about one of them big rolls like you get at the grocery store.
All right, let's run the next one. Now, this was very interesting. And I brought this up, Tonio, because this is kind of scary to me that they can be able to do this.
Oh, yeah, they could do that. Yeah.
Don't worry if you can't hear what I'm saying.
So they produce these, and it's just hydrogen and
possibly conceived.
Oxygen. I
think it's hydrogen peroxide, isn't it?
And they put these artificial clouds in the air, and within a little bit of time, it will rain over that area.
See, the Russians did that when Chernobyl broke down, and the cloud was drifting towards Moscow. The Russians actually did that to cause it to rain outside of south of Moscow, so it would take all that radiation into Moscow.
Because where Chernobyl, they had that failed.
Yeah, when it
wow. What do you think about that, Scott?
I told you.
I think that's crazy.
That's completely. I saw this and I was like, I like to share this because obviously this is not a hoax. I mean, they produced that right there, and if they have that type of technology, I mean, what else? What else can we do? Or what
feed into my globalist conspiracy theory?
Yeah. I mean, what else are we being subject?
That's a rocket engine on top that's producing all that heat.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can manipulate this, I mean, look how much that's putting into.
It'll be like that episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns blocks out the sun.
Yeah. Hey, the Simpsons are never wrong.
I know.
They are never wrong.
They have
never
an episode
miss.
For all future predictions.
Right, yeah. They had Trump on there. They had everybody on there. And everything that they've showed has happened. Is that the last one, Weston?
They do have great writers over there.
They got...
It's like they have time travelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Well, I've got a remedy for
Who's this?
And the problem is you, Santana.
Listen to what he said.
At the remedy right here.
I am the remedy. I am the medicine that Tito Santana needs.
I thought in the great nature of us being wrestling fans, the guy in the top hat, he said, let me tell you something. He's talking about a guy. He said, you're rice eating all this. And I was like, oh my God. I don't think they edited that well before he got up there. Oh man, it was funny though. He don't have no front teeth either.
I am the medicine that Tito
That's hilarious.
Santana needs.
We'll run the next one.
It's worth about $400,000.
Dad, I thought you'd enjoy this one.
I had purchased while I was in military.
So he bought this oyster, 1971 Rolex's Vietnam vet, and got it appraised.
In a movie called Winning. Those watches are going for approximately
somewhere north of $400,000. What that watch is worth, Tonio.
Damn.
And when they tell him how much it's worth, watch this.
It says oyster on it, and this particular model,
You're just going to hold on to it,
is extremely, extremely rare. A watch like this at auction is worth about $400,000.
Oh man!
Yeah, that's hilarious. They told over somewhere north of 400,000. He just fell out.
Oh yeah,
he saw that right then and there.
Yeah.
He took a hit of one of them tie sticks.
Yeah. That's a life changer for sure.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy. Is that the last one, Weston? All right. So what y'all think about those? Those are just a few that I pulled together. I like to pull different stuff because during the week, you have no idea what you're going to see. I was really interested in the NASA thing, and I always tell Tonio the only depiction above our Earth's atmosphere that we have is something that's been provided to us because we have not had the ability to go up and see it for ourselves. So we don't know what it looks like, right? That's just one of my things.
I know Earth is round, though.
Oh, God. We're not going to, we won't.
I know it's round.
So today, what we want to get into, we have Scott Bunn here, and he has recently made a huge decision in his life, professionally, personally, to go from being an agent with RE/MAX 8, and now he is the first agent with REAL Brokerage, right, in the New River Valley.
I am actually the first real agent.
You are the first.
I'm the first
real agent. REAL, real agent. Yes.
And honestly, that just rings so great for me.
Right.
Knowing that this company across the country is picking off all the top producers. They have some people that I really admire that was shocked that they had made the change over to this company, given that it's so brand new. And I don't know, man, this has been a tough year. 2022 has been, and we've been rocked. Everybody's been rocked with the government manipulation of interest rates, and the economy's just, I have to go out and actually say that the economy's kind of falling apart around us, with everything that's costing triple that what it was. And just life's not any better than it was 24 months ago for a lot of people. And, buyers have been stripped been stripped of so much purchasing power, just in the last 12 months with the rates almost, they're over double. You know, like
yes,
you have perfect experience. You know, you sold a house that you had 3% interest rate on, and the last rate you took was in the 6s.
Right.
So like,
5s.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm just saying. But given, look at that difference, right?
Yeah.
Look at what we were dealing with, Dad, when I moved in right beside you guys, right? And that time, what that looked like, right? That house, if you remember, Scott, how much me and you went back and forth, that house was on the market for a while.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, we got to educate this person, and they didn't want to come down on price because the house needed a lot of updates.
I mean, I wanted to get you a couple $1,000s more. You were like, I'll just take it, just get it done.
Right.
And it worked out for you.
It worked out. And Scott was like, Derek, a lot of people say when they buy houses that they're going to do some work, that they're going to have things done, and they look up in 5 years because life happens, and they did not get to make those upgrades and stuff like that. But I made it a point to, with Dad's help, to get a lot of those things done. And I think that really helped me out in the end. Scott, let's go back for a second. Right. Let's get a timeline going here. When did you feel that you were going to make that switch? And what kind of got your wheels turning into looking at making a career move like that?
Yeah. Honestly, I never thought that I would leave RE/MAX 8.
I didn't.
I mean, I was a Hall of Famer. I was working toward the Lifetime Achievement Award or whatever it is. I have a decade with the company, 100 million in sales, 600-700 people served, like trophies on the wall, plaques on the wall. I mean, I was pretty much RE/MAXed out. But I'm a guy that looks into the horizon. I'm a forecaster. I'm looking at what value I provide, what value is provided to me, and I just seen that I had no opportunity to do broker things within that company. I have to go and venture off on myself to do some of the things that I wanted to achieve, and I wasn't going to get those opportunities as a partner with RE/MAX 8.
Okay.
I wasn't going to get that opportunity. I'm huge into building my community. Like what I've tried to do with you, what I'm trying to provide to the people that are in my circle, that have said yes to me, that love me, that support me. Like I want to be there for everybody. And this company, with the revenue, like if I can maintain production levels that I've been able to achieve with RE/MAX, what I'll be able to achieve with this new company is adding more people to my company, providing more community-based things, backpacks for underprivileged school children, Christmas toys, like just being able to do more charitable things with my money. Like RE/MAX got a portion of my money I had to just give them because they were RE/MAX.
Okay.
This company is going to take far less of my money, for the company. And honestly, the recruiting efforts that I can do and creating a tribe of agents. So I can go out now and create a tribe of agents that are my downline.
So basically have your own team.
I can have my own team. I can recruit worldwide, wherever REAL is. If I have a voice there, if I have influence there, they see that and they can be like, well, what's that all about? And then I can kind of show them why I made that change and why it would be smart for them to make that change. Because if I recruit, they recruit, and they recruit, I get an incentive for all of that. So I've really created something. I've created something that will return for me.
Basically, you're going to be in multiple spots, but you're still going to be at home.
Exactly. So I can do everything I want from here, and I can go to sleep and still make money.
Yep.
That's
the goal.
Yeah, it's a goal. You've taken yourself, I always said in business, and all of us here have known some of the business ventures we've had. Everybody here has been a part of what I've done. If you could take yourself or Tonio or Dad or Scott and multiply yourself by 4 and put one of you in each city, you could really get some productivity done.
Yeah.
And now I feel like that's what you've been able to do.
Well, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm really kind of I believe in myself so much. I believe I've got so much courage that I'm willing to stand out there by myself. Okay. And right now, that's what I've done because I'm the only real agent in the area. And I don't think I'm going to be the last real agent in the area because I think this is just a no-brainer company. If you're looking and care about your own money, and care about like having leverage over your life, this company really allows you to become an owner of it. You know, like, and I can do that without having the responsibility of going to be a principal broker. A principal broker is the owner of that particular brokerage. So my former boss, and see, I don't have to say that anymore. I don't have a boss anymore, you know, and the people that, the people in this area, I don't compete with my broker, you know, so that's a great thing too. I've kind of like leveled up to the point where I don't really have I'm not a subordinate of anybody, you know, I'm on their level now, you know, and I have all the broker, I have all the advantages of being the broker without having to be a broker, you know, so that's a huge thing too.
Let's talk about the origins of Real Brokerage for a second.
Yeah.
And did you know that they were structured in that way? So as you were talking, it kind of reminds me of, you know, I know it's, you know, you're putting yourself into a franchise position to be able to market that in this area so that you're the first one. And
it'll remind you of a multi-level marketing system type thing.
And as far as marketing, that's pretty genius, right? Because you're bringing something new to the area. Where are the origins of Real Brokerage out of?
Honestly, I think it's a Canadian startup.
Okay. That's what I was researching.
Yeah.
And it's growing fast.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, obviously we just want to go where the money makes sense. You know, we want to go where the opportunities make the most opportunities, you know. So it doesn't, you know, the leader of the company seems like a fine guy. His model is what I'm more interested in, like the model of me being able to do the things that I want to do and not have to give so much of my money away, to strip me an opportunity to, you know, supply more payroll, to do some of these charitable things, client appreciation, VIP, you know, all these programs I want to do, all these ideas that I have requires a lot of capital. I mean, you were sitting around $100,000 in 5 years worth of work right here, you know. So,
so I have an event coming up, you know, I've done a lot of deals with you. I want to be able to pie some people.
No doubt.
You know, like if we can get that going, you know. And you know what? You're not only doing that, but you're bringing over, I bet, a lot of people that you've built rapport with over the years, right? Trust what you're doing. So now we have a fresh face. We have a clean slate. We have a fresh start. And sometimes I've been seeing constantly this week, it is okay to restart, refresh, regroup.
Bro,
and it sounds like that's what
resetting your goals.
Yeah.
Well, hey, look, I'll be completely honest with you. You know, love has taken a little of my attention in the last, 18 months of my life.
Right.
And, I'm happy in my relationship with the woman that I'm with right now. And I'm back to being the monster on the sales field. I'm back to being me, in this business, and I'm generating revenue, and like I'm going out. I mean, competition should be worried. I mean, like where we are right now, and the motivation of having to start from zero again.
Right.
This man hungry. They don't want none of that.
Right.
Like me being hungry in the game again, and after it, like on the hunt.
Right.
Like I'm excited for that. Like just to have that in my life again, and like have that deep hunger to like dominate and like just take over. Like real estate really is my octagon. It's my in the cage beating people in the face situation. And a lot of people don't know how to handle me and with that. But I am a teddy bear outside of the octagon, and I want to love on all these agents, and I want to, I want to make sure that the people that love this, that understand what this life can be and are courageous enough to go after it, I want them to know I'm on their team. I'm on their side. But when we get in the cage, brother, like you're going to get your face beat in, in this business. Like, so like, that's the competitive nature of this for me. But, so I'm navigating that. So the relationships I got to have people understand who I am. Very competitive inside the ring, but outside the ring, like I want to develop my tribe and take care of my people. You know?
So did this company search you out, or was you sending your resume out?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't really looking. I wasn't, but I was encouraged. Like I said, love had dominated some of my life, and my attention was a little bit elsewhere. And I was actually encouraged by my previous broker to be looking at making sure that I locked my own self-interest up and getting my broker's license and doing some things. And I was like, you know what? Like, I know what power she wields over my life, and so I started looking into it. I started seeing some people that were influential to me on Instagram and that I've met in person through the RE/MAX network that left RE/MAX to go to this company. And I just started seeing how they've started picking off the top producers and what the benefit of early entry into this company will be when they get to 70, 80, 100,000 agents, and we're all buying into the company, and their stock goes from $2 a share right now to $50, $100, $150 a share. Just what that's going to mean to my life if I'm an early adopter and I'm recruiting and my recruits are recruiting, and just so many different avenues of opportunity that's going to equal the life I want.
Yeah, I got you.
So they're a public company.
They're a publicly traded company.
Public traded company. That's what I was about to say. So we got the merch. We'll show the merch right quick. It's ready that real. Yes, sir. So that's another facet, because I want to get into for a second. A lot of people know the matrices and like the numbers that you like to hit when you were with RE/MAX 8.
Yeah.
You mentioned something, and I just want to take a step back for a second. What were some of the pitfalls and hurdles, and some of those I experienced with you last year with the housing market, some of the things we were seeing, right? So one of the things that we experienced between me and you were appraisals, right?
Yeah, you had a deal that appraised for like $40,000 less than what we had it contracted for.
Right. And so on my side, as a purchaser, that was one thing. But did you experience that with other clients that you had? And how were you able to kind of keep your chin up when, we saw the houses? You would get a glimpse of a house for 2 seconds. You refresh your screen, contingent, pending. How frustrating was that for you as well, trying to work with,
like I said, 2022 was a bloodbath. I mean, it was a tough year. We're down, I think at the end of the year, we'll probably inch close to 60 units sold. I'm usually selling 75, 80 deals. I mean, that's a big drop in revenue or units. And my sales price went from $250 a unit down to maybe $195 a unit. So not only did my unit number goes down, but my sales price went down. So it's like I said, every deal mattered, every deal counted, and it's just one of those things. If you don't have your emotions under control in this business, if you don't understand, things fall apart and people are involved and heavy emotions can happen at times. And, you gotta be able to maintain all that. You gotta be able to control all that. And you gotta know that you just have to have the belief in yourself that the next one's going to come.
Right.
And that's it.
Dad, you experienced a little bit last year as well.
Right.
You had a lot of real estate and different properties that you and Mom decided to go ahead and sell.
Right.
What were some of the difficulties that you found that you ran into?
I
was that
caught it,
bro?
I caught it at the top, basically. So
I
was lucky, but then again, I foresaw with COVID, I foresaw something coming.
You saw, yeah.
I saw something coming. I mean, real estate market had been so good for so long. And, being an economist major, I realized that's not going to happen. Sometimes everything comes to an end. What goes up is going to come down.
I always say all the peaks have valleys and all the valleys have peaks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember, I bought my first house back in the 70s.
Right.
When the interest rates were, 12, 15, 18%.
Right.
It's kind of like we have forgotten with this long period of zero rates, free money, as I've said, we've forgotten that that's not the norm.
So what we're seeing is not
what we're seeing is not what we were seeing for that period of time is not the norm. That's one of the shockers that took on. You realize that most of the people even on Wall Street, a big part of them are young people. They weren't even around in 2008 when the market crashed.
Right.
So, generations have to get exposed that this has happened before and it will happen again.
Right. And when you were going to sell some of your properties,
right,
I know that some of them were very quick. You had cash offers on some of them.
I mean, it was the market at that time. It was a good time. I mean, turnover was incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
And then right after that, we saw a little bit of a dip. And now that I'm looking, Scott, some of these houses are sitting. Right. I've seen a lot of houses that have been sitting for a few months. The sellers have adjusted prices. They've done some different things to make it a little bit more marketable, their homes. And, these shifts, it's funny how a few months, how much the market will shift. Scott, what do you think that going into 2023, what are your predictions that we may see in this upcoming year as far as real estate?
I think we're going to be working with the have-tos. The want-tos aren't going to see any real incentive to unload their 3.5% interest rate to go get a 7.5% interest rate. They got to have a really, really hot need to make a transfer from where they are to where they're going to be going. They got to be relocating for work. They got to have some convenience. They got to be really dedicated to making their life a certain way, or they're just going to stay where they are. Because if you just wanted to make a move, it doesn't make practical sense to do so. Moving from the rental market, if you're a renter, moving into buying a home is probably always going to be the better move, no matter what your situation is, because you're just going to get into there. You're going to get your financials. You're going to keep your financials in order. You're going to let the rates drop. You're going to refinance into the better rate when it comes back.
Right.
So like
doing Earl.
So really, you're paying 100% interest. If you're throwing away $12,000 a year on a $900, $1,000 a month payment, it's $12,000 a year. So if you're throwing $12,000 away in rent, it's going to be so much better to roll that into something that is yours, that you're just trading pockets with, other than just feeding the vacation funds of your landlord.
Right.
So like, I'm always going to be a proponent that if you're a qualifying candidate and you're renting, you got to get out of that rental market into the home ownership situation. If you are stable in your life and this is where you're going to be for a while,
And those are one of the proponents that I've learned since I've been talking to you, is if you're in a position where it makes sense and we're qualified, if we can hold this property for 3 or 4 years, market pending, we may be able to come out in a green situation, right? And no other place have I seen that in my personal life happen than with real estate.
Exactly.
Maybe, Scott, I've just been lucky in the situations that I've been in and the times that I've bought and sold.
You have been very fortunate because you've done most of your trading in from 2018 on.
Right.
Now, if you try to trade that townhouse you just bought, you might have a little bit different situation, but you should be there and hold that one for a
I'm going to hold it for, I consider this the as Dad calls it, the start of the portfolio.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because when we did the first deal in Charlotte, I really, and we never know how things are going to go. Hindsight is 20/20. That house sold for $172. I looked on the internet the other day. It's about $340 now.
Damn. Yeah.
But you're talking about Charlotte versus Southwest Virginia.
Southwest Virginia.
Yeah. It's a different story.
It is a different story, Dad. You're right.
Location.
And I thought that when I was looking, I was like, Charlotte it might be pretty expensive. There are areas there, but as far as, and I think that is, you have supply and demand come into that effect. Charlotte has thousands of homes for sale, so they can kind of median out some of those prices, as opposed to the houses we looked at in Christiansburg. 8 other families are looking at the house while I am, and for square footage wise and price per square foot, it was outrageous. So it made more sense for me to go that Charlotte route. Had I been a little bit more, and this is something I'm learning in my life, a little bit more patient, But I think that my life was steering me in a direction. A lot of things happened in that year that I needed to be in this area for.
I think you still came on top on that, didn't you?
I mean, I did big time. Yeah, we did.
So realistically, the growth that you missed there, you actually picked up in Dublin because you got in, and that growth still happened for you because you were still in the market.
Right.
You didn't take your money and put it in the bank and cash out and just hold on to it. Like you got back into the market, you rode that wave. You're still in the market. You never put yourself in a position to waste $1 on your housing needs. Right. And that's great. Some people cannot ever wrap their mind and make a commitment. At least you've made commitments in your life to be like, this is where I'm going to be for this time. When I'm done, this is where I'm going to be for this time. Yeah. When I'm done, this is where I'm going to be for this time. Where people are going to waffle in their life and say, I don't know what I want to do. I don't have direction in my life. I'm not capable of making these tough decisions for my life. And that stops them from being in the game to make this financial impact in their life. So like I said, if you're a capable person and you've made some decisions and you can timeline your goals out, you don't waste $1. Don't waste $1 on rent. If you're a qualifying candidate, you should be in the market. You know, Warren Buffett made all his money by making fair trades, not really getting in at the bottom or getting in at the top. He just bought when he thought the company was doing right, and he sold when he thought the company was doing wrong. And I think that's pretty sound advice. You know, you just get in when you think the price, when you're capable of investing in a company that you believe in, go for it. Yeah.
And I think that
he also did not do speculating buying and stuff. He bought actually hard industrial stuff that he knew was going to be needed.
And I think that you made an excellent point just now. I do have a little bit of knowledge more about real estate now than I did, and I realized that you do have to figure out 3 major things. One, am I going to be in this particular area for more than 3 to 5 years, right? Because it always going to make sense for a turnaround for the market.
You always talk about the 5-year plan.
5-year plan. I told Tonio, I said, listen, I shared this with DJ. I sent DJ your way, right?
Yeah.
I've kind of helped groom DJ into some things. I said, DJ, you're 22. You buy
just turned 23. Happy birthday, DJ.
Happy birthday to DJ, by the way. Happy birthday, brother. He's 23. He's in Miami living it up right now.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Woo,
having a good time.
Yeah, good time.
Nice town.
Yeah. Scenery's great.
They got a lot of nice girls down there.
Yeah, they got a lot of nice girls down there. Very generous girls.
Not about nice, but.
Yeah, but DJ, he's having a good time. And I had mentioned to DJ, I said, you are 23 years old. I said, I've met people and been blessed with everybody in this room that's come into my life, because I feel like if I'm a good person, I'm putting good stuff out, I'm going to attract the right people, right? And good people have come into my life, and I've learned something from each person in this room, you know? And because of that, I'm able to take the knowledge I have and give it to somebody else. So helping DJ kind of walk through this process of owning his first home at 23 years old, I said, brother, you're ahead of the curve. By the time you're 28, look how much equity and market pending that you'll have in this home. You could do whatever you want to with it. Now, if I'd have had a Derek at his age, right, to tell me those things, would have been a little bit different. And it goes through generations. My family, most people in my family, we are a blue-collar family. And we are the type of family that, hey, when you buy a home, we hold on to it because that is our safety. That's our structure. That is what you provide for your family. I don't think that we kind of started getting into buying and selling that much until myself, my cousin Ebony, my cousin Whitney, some of the next generations had came along, and where we're a little bit less nervous about making a jump from one house to another. Nothing wrong with buying a house and holding on to it forever. Nothing wrong with that. But I think we had to see that, I hate to use the word manipulation, but the market, how we could use it to our advantage.
Yeah.
And like I said, the 5-year plan, like I told Tonio, getting into a property, if things go well, you make some updates, right? You got to pay somebody to live somewhere. So the way I consider this, you're paying yourself, right?
Yep.
And like you said, instead of sending this real estate guy that's got all these properties to Miami every year so he can smoke cigars, we're going to send ourselves.
Yeah. And then one day you'll be the guy.
And one day I'll be the guy,
that's
right?
Getting the mailbox money.
And smoking cigars and help pay tuition for people.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's
lake houses and jet skis.
And look at what's girl when them books due. Yeah. So, we always joke about that, right? But, I told DJ, I said, in real estate, a lot of people think that they have to pay off the full balance of whatever is owed to the bank or their lender on their home before they can walk away. And I told them that's not the case. And a lot of people are trapped in, I think, this scare tactic and fear when it comes to that because they haven't been educated on how that works, right? They haven't been educated on how they can use real estate as an investment tool. Getting back to you saying that you loved the structure and the dynamic and how this new company, Real Brokerage, was structured, what about it was so appealing to you to where, and you always say this, you have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. So what about this new company structure really captured your eye other than other agents that, you're probably spoken to? Well,
like I said, the amount of talent that they're pulling from all of the big box stores, the Remaxes, the Coldwell Bankers, the Century 21s, like all of the producers see the value in this company versus us not getting any of the company money, like pouring based on my production. 4 or 5 years in a row, I paid Remax like $40,000 each year. Per year. So they get a piece of my business forever, and they get a monthly fee from me.
So basically, you're in a 360 contract.
I mean, I get nothing back in return other than like some support. I get my broker. Like, don't get me wrong, my previous broker was an angel for me. I am one of the most taken wrong, misunderstood, easily discounted people you probably ever meet. And until you want to get to know me, until you really give me time to know like how genuine I am, you can see me at surface level and think like he's weird or shallow or arrogant or whatever until you really get to kind of know me. And she went deep with me. So I really appreciate that. And she loved me on the way out too, So like I can't never take anything away from that relationship. It was very profitable for her and I. So I'll never have anything bad to say about that relationship.
Right. Now,
but this company gives me an opportunity to get the company money. Like I get some of the company money.
Breadstick.
I can't get no partnership with Remax that's ever going to give me Remax. I can't get no Uncle Remax money. I can't get none of that money, but I get real money. I get real money all day.
We get real money.
Yeah.
You get real money, and we about to get some real money.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
So I can get the real money.
Yeah.
I can get people involved in this company that will help me earn. That I can. It's just another opportunity to build my tribe, to build my community, right. And I can never do that. I was never incentivized to go to work for Remax. Remax worked for me. I paid them. I paid Remax, give me these technologies, give me that balloon, give me that, but I paid you for that. And I got no opportunity for Uncle Remax money. So,
and I don't mean to cut you off. What you're telling me kind of reminds me of the first thing I can compare it to is having a franchising like Chick-fil-A. They're going to give you the advertisement. They're going to give you the new boards. They're going to give you the new structure inside of the company. They're going to help you with putting the managers and people in place. Hey, we're running a new training.
You'll see the Super Bowl ad.
We're running a new chicken sandwich during the Super Bowl. You're going to have all the up-to-date things, but at a cost. And hey, Scott, we'll give you all the chicken in the world, but we might not give you actual piece in the company, right? So now we're in a place where, hey, I'm getting chicken and the fixins, right?
Yeah.
I can get the chicken and I can have some stock, some holdings.
Yeah, don't be
shares.
stingy with that sauce over there.
Yeah. Give me that. Yeah. I tell you, hey, just like Future song, it's too much sauce. I went to Chick-fil-A one day. I said, man, this bag is heavy. All I got was some nuggets. It was 22 packets of Polynesian in the bottom of there.
Nice.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Somebody, when it comes into logistics and they're looking at their costs and stuff, somebody might want to look into that bottom line. I'm just saying, that's a lot of salt.
Somebody in management is not doing their job.
Somebody not doing, they ain't weighing them fries out, are they, Dad? I'm telling you. So now you're able to actually have some holdings, some shares.
Yeah. And I'm in early enough where when this thing blows up, because I believe this company is the leader in the space in the next 10 years, when this stock goes from $2 a share and I'm putting 5% of my money on every check into this thing and I'm buying in at every level and every day that I earn, I'm putting in, and it goes from 7,000 agents to 100,000 agents and everybody's doing the same thing and that stock's $200, I'm out.
I think I could be a real agent. What do you think, Tonio? Yeah. I can definitely be a real agent. I'm telling you. I think we got the charisma, the vernacular. We can learn this stuff.
You being in my downline, you're so in there.
You know, like, listen, we're going to talk after this. But, you talk about getting in early,
Look how good of a salesperson I am. I can take somebody that had no interest in real estate sales, give him the pitch, and he's like ready to sign up.
All he said was chicken, sauce, stocks. Hey, I'm bought in. You might be able to write this off as a business meeting.
You like that? I can't get no Remax money, Uncle Remax money, but I get that real money.
I get that real money. I like getting real money. Now, I stay low key, but I like my scratch. What the goal is to get at the level that AC is on. Right. If you do notice, he blesses us with the new fresh outfit every week.
Right. I was out and about. What are you talking about? You got a fresh outfit too. What are you talking about? I was out and about.
This is vintage, okay? I got a little piece on there, but I'll talk about that hibachi money.
All right.
That's
for the kids.
That's for, you got to eat too. So, my kids will be picking between breakfast or lunch. Right. Which one you want,
Call that brunch.
Yeah, brunch. Your kids pick between, they want steak or shrimp. It's a difference. I'm just saying. But with this company, Scott, you mentioned a few things. I know that you wanted to be involved more in the community. I know you probably had those goals and visions with REMAX 8. Was it a little bit harder to kind of structure some of the backpack giveaways and some of the things you wanted to do? Or did you not have, I don't want to say the wrong word, but not permission, but, like when you're putting a name of a brand onto certain things, it seems like you have more creator freedom now,
Yeah, I think I will. I think, all of that can be looked at as I paid REMAX over the last, from 2018 to 2022, from $30,000 to $40,000 a year each year.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but I just want to know for the people.
That's almost 200,000.
Mathematician right here, right? I already knew he had it. He had it. He's a genius. He had it. I knew he did. What is that allocated to? Is that for you to have this sign out front? Is that for you to be represented by the company? What is that? If you can tell us.
I can. There's a portion of it that goes directly to my broker. And then there's a percentage that goes to REMAX Corporation that's split with my broker. I'm not sure the percentage, but I know REMAX took 6% of my gross earnings for life. So I don't know the split between my broker and Uncle REMAX, but I do know that $7,200 every year went to REMAX. Like my broker at REMAX. Like REMAX 8 got $7,200 guaranteed from me, every year, plus 6% of my gross commission out the door with no chance of getting it back.
So it's kind of like, when you bring two people to the table and you're representing me as the buyer and the seller's agent, however that works out, that percentage is split between you two, right? So you're doing that on my level and you were doing that at the next level. And I didn't know that.
So I get that percentage you get charged.
Right.
And then REMAX 8, REMAX Corporation, Uncle Sam, marketing budget, payroll, me. So, I mean, to be honest with you, in this business, taking over the world is expensive, and taking money to the bottom line in any venture, restaurants, anybody running a business, if you can take 25% to the bottom line, you're doing good.
That's doing excellent.
Yeah. And that's pretty much where we were. We were good at, except for this year, I've poured all of my money into this year. Like I'm in a spot where I've got to start, like for the longest time, I wasn't even looking at the bottom line. We was just ripping and running.
And I'm telling you,
laying by the pool.
Hey, I'm telling you, laying by the pool, and them numbers come in, and you ain't in the right category that you were supposed to be in. I'm telling you right now, Tonio was my night manager when I had the business, and he did great. And one day I looked at the bottom line, and I said, I'm about to start dancing again. So a lot of people could catch me on the weekend in West Virginia. I rode bulls, I danced, just to make, because I'm telling you, you don't realize you're doing enough to meet the logistics needs, to meet your taxes, to take care of your people on payroll. Whatever's being deducted from their check, guess who they're coming after for that? The corporation at the end of the month when you pay taxes, right? Mm-hmm. So all those things, the withholdings, they're coming from somewhere. And guess what? When them taxes hit, they don't care if you got it in there or not.
They're taking it.
They'll take your check negative. They'll take your account negative $1,300 in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're a bank.
Freeze everything else.
They'll freeze everything else. Now you're Bank of Wells Fargo flirting with the manager.
So really, where I saw the difference in making an impact in my community and making sure my payroll doesn't shudder is the difference between paying Real Broker $12,000 of my money and no more of my money after that, which represents about a month and a half of sales for me.
Right.
I've only got to sell $3 million worth of real estate, and I'm doing $3 million of real estate in bad times every 2 months. So I'm selling $3 million of real estate every 2 months, and that's a bad down year for me. That's down times for me. So when I'm doing good, I'm selling $3 million a month. I've sold $3 million a month. That's $90,000 in 1 month. That's by the pool type money.
That's mailbox money.
Yeah, I mean we're jamming at that, but I've got such a good team that it's automated when I'm at that capacity.
Right.
I can just be in the house with you. I can be like, hey Derek, you like that? Like I'm opening doors, and that's all I'm doing. I'm not on the phone. I'm not prospecting. I'm not cold calling.
That's what I was going to ask
about. That's where I am right now. Is I'm back to everything I did to build my business. And honestly, it's exciting. It's exciting to be back in the trenches. I'm back in the trenches.
Right. You got that hunger. Some days I miss it. Like you said, being back in the trenches. Me and Dad was just talking about this the other night. Something came up on the TV and these soldiers was running and screaming. I said, man, I don't like being wet and hungry and cold, but some days you miss it. And you had to get that, you had to get.
It's part of your life.
Part of your life. You got to get that fire back, and it seems like you got that fire back in your gut now.
So how cool is it? You've been to the top of the mountain. You had to go all the way back down to the bottom, and then you get to do it again, and you do it again, Like how proven is that?
Oh man, it's proven because a lot of people count you out before they even see what you got going on.
Nobody had this for me.
Yeah, right.
Nobody saw this for me.
Right.
They just shoot, man. I tell this story in private, but my mom hit me with the BT bus application back in the day. Like that's how bad it was. That's how the belief was that I wasn't going to make it. My mom came to me with job applications.
Right.
And she wanted me to be a bus driver.
And you know what? I've met your mom before, incredible lady, and I know that came from a place of love.
She's just trying to
make sure it's just security.
Of course.
And because that's a safer bet, right? Because we want to know we're getting paid on the 1st and 15th, or we want to know certain things. You're doing something that a lot of people will live their entire lives, and they probably won't ever get a chance to do. Not because they don't want to. A lot of people get negative feedback from people directly involved in their circle, and that will stunt your growth. Because if you have somebody projecting, I don't know if I'd do that.
Yeah, that's human nature.
That's human,
That's human nature.
That's a parent's nature for the kid, is to try to secure them and make sure that they're okay.
Right.
But that also limits the freedom that could come from them actually achieving their goal. And I was so naive and blinded by what I wanted in life that I didn't care what anybody had to say. It did. People telling me I couldn't do it, I wouldn't do it. And I just put these blinders on and just kept my head down. And I'm going to do it again. We'll do it again.
We're going to do it again. Fire. Yeah, you got to keep that. And you have to keep that passion. And, man, just God is good. And life takes us on so many different, our lives were completely different a year ago, right? I always say don't ever count me out, because one thing I had to realize is getting back to betting on Derek, right?
Best way to be.
Best way to be,
Bet
right?
on yourself.
Self-awareness and conscience and respect is all about it. Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah. And I had to realize, like, Derek, you depended on your 2 feet to get you here this far. Why can't I depend on myself to continue to push? You did it too. Like I told you before, you could have said, the heck with this long time ago. You could have been a logistics supervisor at Volvo, right?
Bro, to make a nice life for myself, I don't need this. I don't need the team. I need to do 25 to 35 deals a year, depending on the sales volume, handle all the basics. I could live a nice life, have plenty of money, but I'm out here trying to do it for my community. I'm trying to make an impact. I'm trying to show people from here, you don't have to leave here to achieve big things, influence, some sort of example, some shining light for the people of this area, knowing that you can make it from here. By growing up here is not the end of the world. You can make the life that you think you deserve without having to leave the area. We see so much of our talent leave the area to think that they gotta take that somewhere else to achieve the life that they want. And I'm just tired of seeing it. I'm tired of hearing it. There's plenty to do here. It's a great place to raise a family, great place to live a nice life. And I'm trying to show them that's possible.
That's possible. Real quick, with this new company, Real Brokerage, putting your team together, creating leads, what is more inspiring about the technology side of this company? The way you'll be able to reach out to people, right? Because I know that's a big part of it, right? And how do you think that real estate is going to be revolutionized even with this company? Because we talked about it. A lot of people were doing sight unseen. A lot of people were purchasing over the computer. Do you think it's going to get more into that?
I think all the technology is built out for actually the customer experience.
Okay.
I think now it's the agent experience. I think this company is shuttering the old broker model that says the broker is the prize of the thing and everything revolves around them. And now it's going to revolve more around the agents. The agents are going to own more of their business. They're going to have to ship less of their money into the broker's pocket. And there's a lot of incentives out there of brokerages that charge large fees of, well, if you don't sell anything, you don't owe us anything. But I tell you right now, if you don't sell anything, you can't eat. So you're going to need to either sell something or go find a quote unquote real job if you can't cut it. If you're not a productive agent, then you're probably going to need to go find somewhere else to be productive, because if you're going to a brokerage for the incentive of not having to pay them anything, if you're not producing anything, that's the wrong model.
Being in for the right reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, you need to, you want to produce. You
have to, because they're going to take, like you said, the fee, but on the backside of that, you're producing and now you're bringing home some bacon.
As soon as you're a producer, if you like your money, if you want ownership of your company, if you want to have the maximum opportunities, you're not getting that from the old broker model. You cannot recruit outside of your local market. You're not getting anything to recruit to that company. You're giving them too big of a percentage of your money for not enough return. I mean, there's brokerages out there that aren't worth 1% of your business for life. I mean, it's just not worth it. It's not worth giving your entire business, even 1% of it, to somebody for life. Give me a break of paying you at some point. If I'm this level of production and I paid you this level of money, stop taking my money.
Let's pay it all up front, get to a point where we'll tier out, right?
Exactly.
Just like most models, right? Like a life insurance or something like that, right? Or let's reverse it. Let's do more actual principal than interest type of thing,
Well, see, with Real, that's the kicker is once I've sold $3 million in real estate and I paid them their $12,000, they stop taking my money other than a $250 transaction fee. So I go from paying $40,000 at my top level production with Remax down to maybe $15,000 to $16,000. So look at the margin. Look at that margin over 5 years. You said $200K.
Yeah.
So take that margin, put that back in my pocket, and look how. Look.
Changes your growth
I'd still be running my show. I wouldn't have been shuttered to have to unload, my media side of my business, and I'd still be running that if over that period of time I had that money, So these old broker models, they get fed too much money from their agents, and now this company's coming through to make it more about the agent, taking less of their money and providing just the same amount of service. Really, I mean, you're going to be having somebody look over for compliance, making sure that you're not putting yourself in a liability situation, protecting you, answering your phone calls, answering your questions, being there for support. But it's not brick and mortar, and it's not a competitor. So my broker is now not a competitor, which my broker was a competitor. We'd be showing up at the same houses trying to fight over the same listings.
Yeah, I want to get it to where I pick up the phone and I'm like, hey, Real team, like I'm over here, I'd like to meet you over here, look at this property. Can you bring me a 10-piece when you come? And I know that they might facilitate.
Dude, if you call me for some food, I'd be on the way. I'd be your DoorDash.
DoorDash, they might facilitate that. I was just thinking in my head, we will get your family into the home of their dreams and make.
Oh, dude, I've got so many play on words.
Right,
I got the real client appreciation.
Right.
I got the the Instagram, we took the picture at the closing.
Yes.
I got, instead of like I kind of track all the sales or whatever. It's going to be now real deal number. Like I'm just going to use that real.
Oh,
it's going to be
pump it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Pump it. Yeah.
Got the real client appreciation event. I mean, it's we're just playing that. We're playing that out.
Right.
Y'all gonna get sick of it.
No, it's good. For people that have made this transition with you, past, present, future clients, is there anything that they would have to do new to be able to stay connected with you? Everything's just going to kind of just seamlessly transfer. Okay.
Yeah. But again, we are fired up. We're thinking on a different level. We're going deep with the people that have said yes to us. We're going deep to the people that are currently working with us. We're going to be pouring so much of our time, energy, and capital into going deep into the current relationships we have. We have 600 people served in the last 5 years. I mean, from 2017 until this year, we've done phenomenal work, and the community has shown up and said yes to us. And really, if we just leverage that, we don't need no more. What I can provide value for now is all the new stuff that's coming in with the level that I'm on. Is I can show the people coming in behind me that have hitched their trailer to my cart how I did it, and they can do it the same way. They can build their business in the exact same way that I did.
So essentially, we can have a lot of real ownership. Right. You have somebody that you mentor up under you.
Yeah. And I do. I have one coming. Her name's Allie McAlpine. And
I know she went to, is she from this area?
No, she's from DC. She's
okay.
Yeah.
I thought, no, I'm not being funny. I thought it was a girl that does real estate in Charlotte that you were going to put me in contact with at one point, and I thought she might have been coming back.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the awesome thing is I've got so many connections in these Charlotte area, right, in the Roanoke area.
Yeah.
Like I don't really dive over into Roanoke in a big way. I do a couple deals over there just because of crossover, but there's all kinds of Roanoke agents. There's all kinds of Wytheville agents and people just outside of my main market here that should be looking into this as, the forecast says that 250K real estate people are going to be getting out of this business in the next 24 months.
Time to strike, my brother. Let's go.
So really, I mean, the thing is shuttering hard, and the broker model is going to be looked at as too expensive when these mediocre producers to mid-level producers are going to start to get real about their careers, their life. You know, like, look, bro, if I can do this, pretty much anybody can. Like, I mean, I know I'm kind of downplaying what I've got, but I'm just naive and I believe in myself. That's just
what you need.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, I get in and I stay in probably when it isn't practical. And I believe in myself to know that I'm going to make it work. And then that's what happens. It works.
Right. Man, this is awesome. I'm excited. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, brother.
Doing these things is not easy.
Yeah, definitely.
Change is not easy. And a lot of people like to stick with something that's proven, something that works, but it seems like this is something that you've put a lot of thought into. The company's going in the direction that you want it to go to, and you mentioned something right. You're your own boss, bro. To reach that level, boss DOS.
Called entrepreneurship.
Right, it is. I mean, it's hard, but we all strive for that.
Yeah.
Right? We're all striving to be our own bosses. We're all striving to leave a legacy. We're striving to, produce something. And we're doing it because we do love this area. We love where we're from. We've gone all over the world and we've come back home. And we're going to continue to do that.
And none of us had to be here. I mean, this is a choice I made because I wanted to be around my family. I wanted to be around the people that I grew up with.
Yeah, you could be in Nova Scotia.
I could be in Miami. I could be in Las Vegas. You know, I could be in any big market and do.
That Las Vegas market is crazy.
I could do a third of what I do and just be an individual agent even here and just ride out a nice life
at the table.
Yeah. I mean, I could be golfing. I could be playing poker. I could be taking this little $50,000 profit, or whatever it is I get at the end of the year after I decide what my expenses are, and live a nice life here. But I'm trying to make an impact. I'm trying to be an example. I'm trying to be a leader. I'm a leader no matter if it's a leader of just me. One of one. So, but I will take it. I'll take that. I don't know what the word is, but I'll take that role and I'll try to put my voice out there and make an impact in the world. That's I guess that's it. That's what's in my heart is to leave something that says, oh, well, that's what he was able to accomplish. And now if he can do it, I can do it.
Well, it's been real. We should say that, right? It's been real.
Hey, let me encourage you. Like when you're ready to wrap it up, man, I got some encouraging words for you.
Yeah. Well. We were just getting ready to get into that. I know we're hitting our mark. Where can people that are going to watch this, we're going to continue to help get this name out there. All the contact information is still the same for you. Would you like to plug anything right now? New websites, new contact information where people can get in contact with you and your team for Real Brokerage?
Yeah, it's all the same. Pretty much the website, scottwillsell.com. We're at 2401 South Main Street in Blacksburg. I'm all over social media, Scott Bull on Facebook. You search me on YouTube. Would love, any attention on TikTok or any of these social media platforms. I'm actually spending a lot of time back on Twitter. Now that Elon's kind of taking it over, we're back on Twitter.
That's a whole nother 20 minutes. Yeah.
Sell your Teslas,
right? Yeah.
But I'm just going where the attention is, and would love anybody to follow onto my social media platforms would be amazing, and get down there with me on that. So yeah.
Are y'all still supporting Kanye?
Now, we can have an hour conversation on Kanye.
Right, what he thinks about the werewolf situation.
Right, yeah. I wanted to say we appreciate you, Scott. We appreciate you, Dad, Weston, AC, everybody to make these things happen. I love it every time that we're here. I just feel I have a new fire. You talked about a fire, right? And we all have been putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations to make this happen, but we know the end goal, what we want. Weston likes to do his thing and in his lane, and he's challenged me. I've challenged him. I've challenged AC. So we're all keeping each other, we want the best for each other. This has been another great episode of the baddest podcast in the land, Steak and Sauce Podcast. Please continue to support, subscribe, hit those notification buttons for us. We pray that God will continue to give us this creative energy and spirit so we can do this. And we want to open up the floor right quick with Scott before we close out.
Bro, I love the fact that you're on here and that you're doing this and how he's able to pull people up. And I hope you feel like I've done that for you.
Yeah.
I think you guys can. We mentioned the Kanye thing. Look, we gotta have influence. We gotta be able to put our word out there. We gotta be able to put our perspective out there. We want that. I think you're the right guy to bring topics to the table and talk about it and put the voice behind whatever the topic is. I think you're the leader in that space. I feel like. Just keep doing your thing, bro. Keep believing in yourself. Keep getting on stage as much as possible. Stay aware and put your opinions on topics that matter. Whatever your opinion is, we're going to disagree on things fundamentally sometimes,
and we have.
But I want your voice out there. I want you to put your comedy behind it. I think it's important to have somebody like you in this community. I feel like people need to pay attention. They need to support both of us. They need to share our stuff. They need to believe in us. They need to like. They need to share. They need to comment. They need to do all this stuff. I mean, let's just be real, brother. We're nothing online. Like, we're nothing, and we deserve and are talented enough to be something. Okay, so we got to have the people that love us, support us, to show up for us when we have our moment, and that needs to spread, and we need to be able to be ready to capitalize on these things. So really, that's the key. We're going to have our moment. There's going to be opportunity there, but are we ready to capitalize on it when it happens? So the next 12 months, that's what you're going to be hearing from me. For you, is I'm going to be in your ear talking about what's trending, what's happening, talk about it. And then what are we doing on the back end to monetize, to make this something that you can replace your income, that will lead you to the life that you thought that you deserved, that you thought you were capable of, that's going to put you on a Netflix special, that's going to put you in endorsement deals, that's going to put you in everything that everybody else is getting out there with not even as much talent as us. So there you go, brother.
Yeah. Thank you for that. We're going to be on tour one day, I'm telling you, and it's going to be good.
Look, the map to success is out there. It's digging down into it and figuring out what that means for you. If you want that roadmap, if you want to steal something from that roadmap and add it to your roadmap, I R&D my entire life, and it's not research and development. That's rip off and duplicate. So I'm ripping off and duplicating everything I love in life.
Just like Rick Ross's album Mastermind, right? What did he say? Don't reinvent the wheel. Pick somebody that's successful and model something after, after what they've done. So, that's a mastermind effect. So I agree 100%. If you guys have any suggestions, anybody that wants to come onto the show, continue to inbox us. We'd love to have you on here. Scott, we're going to have you back again. We want to check in with you how, going into this new year. I know you got some things mapped out, how that's going to look for you. You got some agents. I think I met one of them the other night at my show, I believe. Yep. And so we got big things coming. Dad, we got a whole nother episode planned for you coming up pretty soon. We have
watch out.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Good girls go to heaven, bad girls go everywhere. All right. So that's what we say. So thank you guys. Until the next time, y'all be blessed.